Good evening. In today's session, let's discuss regarding certain concepts that are related to Indian economy. We'll be discussing what is import substitution industrialization and what exactly is the export processing zone policy and what exactly is the special economic zone policy of the year 2000. In order to understand this one, let's go back to the initial days of India, where India used to depend more on other countries for the purpose of imports. During the time, the government has decided let's go for the import substitution industrialization, meaning let's depend less on other countries for imports and let's start manufacturing and producing our own goods so that our economy will be strengthened over a period of time. Instead of importing, we will be in a position to export and our economy will be further strengthened. With that intention, the government has come out with the policy called export processing zone policy in the year 1965. But in order to promote this one, you need to have a strong financial support, you need to have a strong and good infrastructure, but unfortunately they were missing at that particular time, and all these things led for the creation of formulation of the special economic zone policy or SEZ policy in the year 2000. What is the importance of this? When it comes to SEZ, special economic zone policy, this is basically meant for enhancing and improving the foreign direct investment in India, so that the infrastructure will be improved, so that the competitiveness will be improved and increased, and conducive atmosphere is also created, and all will lead to the quality of the services, and that will be helpful for promoting more exports from India. With that intention, this policy has come into the picture, and India got SEZ Act in the year 2005, and that act came into operation in the year 2006. Kindly remember, each and every point is important. What is import substitution industrialization, and what is export processing zone, and what is a special economic zone, and what are these policies when they were announced, and what is the SEZ Act when it was passed, and what is the SEZ Act when it has been implemented. All these are important for the examination. And kindly remember, as far as the SEZ is concerned, special economic zones are concerned, India got separate economic laws for those areas. Clear? In fact, when I say SEZ, that is nothing but a geographical area where industries are established for promoting the exports. So obviously you need separate economic laws, and those laws will be more liberal when compared to domestic laws. So these are the points that are related to all these things. I would like to share the document with you, and I would like to discuss more on this one. So the topic is SEZ. It stands for Special Economic Zone, but we'll be beginning with EPZ, Export Processing Zone Policy, implemented in 1965. During the time, that was the period of ISI, Import Substitution Industrialization. What do you mean by this? This is a method of decreasing a country's dependence on developed countries. This was the idea of India too. We wanted our dependence to be decreased on other nations. How is it possible? Develop yourself, establish your own industries. Instead of importing, you should be in a position to export. If you establish your own industries, your infrastructure will be strengthened, and you will be in a position to create more jobs. Employment opportunities will be increased, and finally that will lead to more exports. so that we can go for the import substitution. And it included multiplicity of controls and clearances. During the time, the rules were so stringent. There was an absence of good infrastructure and unstable fiscal regime, which paved way for the transformation of EPZs into special economic zones. Clear? Please read the first point and second point very carefully. And after this, cess policy in India first came into inception on April 1st, 2000. And what was the objective? The objective is to enhance FDI and also provide an internationally competitive and compatible environment for exports. This is the basic objective of SEZ. Please remember, if it is a question in the main examination, you can write down these points. This policy is aimed at promoting exports from India and boost our economic growth by using tax and business incentives to attract foreign investment. More are the benefits, more are the incentives that will promote more foreign direct investment. And after this, in the year 2005, cess act was enacted and it became effective in the year 2006. And for your information, when I say cess, this is a geographical region which has economic laws considered to be more liberal than countries' domestic economic laws. And when we say SEZ, it covers free trade zones, export processing zones, free zones, industrial estates, free ports and others. All these will be covered. Clear? And the goal is to increase foreign direct investment, typically an international business or an MNC. Kindly see here, when you are reading any topic from Indian economy, please try to understand the basics. For any subject, understanding the concepts is really important to have a grip on the subject. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next session.